What's going on, guys? Chris Camping. What's going on, guys? Chris Camping here, and today we're going to be playing Doki Doki Literature Club with my two friends here who they can't control themselves. And would you like to introduce yourselves here?
You're next to him.
Okay.
I'm Brian.
I'm Keith, aka the Bomb Bimby. How's it going, guys?
His channel's...
Sorry about that.
yeah.
My apologies. This is a little disorganized, but you know what? We're having fun here, so let's get
Setting this up for some fun.
Let's get right into this.
let's get right into this shindig here. What's our name gonna be?
Name's gonna be Guzma.
Guzma, right?
Because we're joined today by the very one and only.
Guzma is God, in case you were wondering.
Hey!
Thank you for that. Wait, no, Keith's Oh no,
No,
this
that's not narrating.
Okay,
Alright,
alright.
let's go. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me.
You idle, huh?
Idle animation.
Idle animation.
What was
You do the
that?
voice the whole time? Are we doing our voices?
Yeah, we're doing
Yeah.
our voices.
Oh, we're
alright?
doing our
Yeah,
voices?
we're doing the voices.
Oh no.
This is gonna be a good time.
I overslept again! But I caught you this time!
Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you.
It's definitely what Guzma would sound like.
Yeah. You say like you were thinking about ignoring me.
That voice crack.
Yeah.
That's mean, Guzma.
Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something.
Fine.
What? What was
Word
that?
about what?
Fine. You didn't wait for me after all. I guess you didn't have it in... Oh my god. I can't do this. I guess you didn't have it in you to be mean to me if you wanted to.
Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way towards the school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute.
By the way, Guzma, have you decided to join a club yet?
A club? I told you already. I'm really not interested in joining these clubs. I haven't been looking either.
That's not true. You told me you'd join a club this year.
You should be a voice actor.
No, I really shouldn't.
Oh, I think you'd be really good at it.
Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime.
Like you, Chris. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I was worried.
I think you gotta talk louder.
I know, I do. Oh my god. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't know how to socialize or have any skills before
can't do
college.
it.
It's like Brian.
Your happiness is really important to me, you know.
You gotta speak up.
And
He's
I know
trying.
you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming neat in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you.
Aight. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy or whatever. No promises.
Will you promise you'll try just a little?
Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that.
Yay!
Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl?
Yeah, why didn't you?
More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation.
I feel like that was actually you in high school.
That was me in high school.
Yeah. So.
Clubs.
Clubs. Clubs.
Spades. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I got no choice but to start with the anime club.
Hello.
It's like exactly how you said it.
Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom.
I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed.
You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you late to your own club, man.
Man.
Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought,
No what?
well, that you could come to my club.
Sayori,
Yeah.
there is no way in hell I'm going to your club.
Ooh.
Oh shit. Meanie.
Look at her face, like gets me every.
Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club.
So
Come on,
edgy.
please.
You're so edgy, Guzma.
Why do you care so much anyway?
Well, I kind of told the club yesterday that I'd bring a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything.
Freaking Suki.
Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I'll let out a long sigh.
Let's hear your long sigh. I want to hear it.
Oh my god.
Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, alright?
Yes, let's go.
And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
Everyone, the new member is here.
I told you, don't call me a new member. Huh? I glance around the room.
Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh my god. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere.
Ah, Guzma. No, wait.
Say it's like Guzma.
Hey, Guzma.
Ah, Guzma. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club.
All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Not as good as Plumeria, though.
What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it.
Sorry, but you need to lose your attitude, man.
Natsuki.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori.
You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Oh wait, no, that was Sayori. Oh fuck.
Sayori says that quietly
Ooh.
into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club.
Don't say things like that.
Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you.
And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right?
That's right. It's great to see you again,
Yo,
Kuzma.
those green eyes though.
You like the green eyes?
They look like reptile eyes.
Yeah, maybe she's a reptile.
Lizard.
Whoa, she's...
Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica.
Come on, sit down, Guzma. We made a room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes.
Hey, I made them. I'll get them.
Sorry, I got a little too excited.
Then how about I make some tea as well?
The girls have a few decks
What?
to play Magic.
Yeah, but they're playing Magic.
Alright, come on, next line. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori, so I can play EDH. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay, are you ready? Ta-da!
What?
Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute.
I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki.
Yeah, well, you know. Just hurry and take one.
Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow.
It's delicious.
Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers looking for the best angle to take a bite. Yo, tell me you don't do that, okay?
Kinda, yeah.
I do that. Yo, Natsuki is quiet. She waits my judgment. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thanks, Natsuki.
Why are you thanking me? It's not like I...
Haven't I heard this somewhere before?
made them for you or anything.
I thought you technically did. Sayori said.
Well, maybe, but not for you, you know,
so cute.
dummy. Yeah,
Aight,
so
whatever
cute.
you say. I give in on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. I ain't got time for that. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray.
Narrating changes
I
like
know.
so often. You keep a...
That's
Go.
You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you.
That's not it.
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I mean, that, you know...
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I mean, not as much as coffee, but it's tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and smiles at me.
So, what made you consider the literature club?
I was afraid of this. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so...
That's okay, don't be embarrassed. Well, we'll make you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
I mean, I really don't know if I want it to feel like my home. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably just be a board member for any of the major clubs. Or the spades. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year anyway?
Well, you know,
I love how she's posing.
to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream.
Monica's a really great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all the effort into starting something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard and convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident we could all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone?
Yeah!
We'll do our best. You know it.
Everybody enthusiastically agrees. Look, you like that? Enthusiastically.
Yeah, I like that one.
Enthusiastically. It's like different girls, all interested in the same goal. Me. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still really don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. That's you.
So Guzma, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that aside from Twitter and Reddit. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What the hell am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of a teacup with her finger. That's Brian didn't pick up on that.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. I do. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind the team is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious the way her eyes light up after that, she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I believe I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you?
I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well,
Natsuki's eyes dot over to me for a split second.
Never mind.
She's so cute. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki?
I think Brian likes the lolly. What? What gives you that idea?
You left a piece of scrap paper behind at the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called...
Don't say it out loud. And give that back.
Fine.
Oh, look at the little... She's got the moe fang. I didn't even notice that.
Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are.
Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and pulls her hands on her shoulders.
Oh no.
Puts her hands on her shoulders, rather.
I'm not cute.
Natsuki, you write your own poems.
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's pretty impressive if I do say so myself. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
You're probably right. Not a very confident writer yet, eh?
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is written to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart.
Do you have your own writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you could set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
I guess it's the same for Yuri.
Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems.
You all sit in silence for a moment.
Okay. I have an idea, everyone.
Ned?
Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even.
Yeah, let's do it.
Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Guzma?
Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem.
What's that?
Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would be joining this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. But what I really want to say is I'm really not interested here. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes.
Aw. You just broke all their hearts.
But,
I'm sorry, I thought...
Guzma.
You all... You lot. Stop. I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price they need to pay in order to spend every day with those beautiful girls. Right. I decided, I'll join the literature club.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, cut that out.
You really did scare me there for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed.
then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club.
Thanks, I guess.
Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem and bring it the next meeting so we all can share.
Monica looks over at me once more.
Guzma, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself.
Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food.
Hey, Guzma, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together?
That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Whatever, might as well.
Yay!
With that, the two of us depart the club and make our way home. The whole way, my mom wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Every day. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will come to me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. But what do I write about? Po-Town? It's time to write a poem.
What?
Write words you who
What?
your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. What?
Who,
You actually get to write like stuff
yeah.
in this game? What? I didn't know that.
Who are we gonna
Oh wait,
impress?
you have to like pick like words like from a list.
Yeah.
I thought you could write your own.
Who
That'd be pretty
who are
cool.
we gonna impress? Should I like explain that like what I know?
No. We have to impress somebody, right?
Yeah.
Let's impress
And we have to
Yuri.
pick 20 words?
Yeah, 20 words and like
20. Okay. All right.
So who do we want to impress
I want-
here? Because we got to think about like, okay, because these girls are gonna like different words.
Yeah.
I feel like
We should
we got Yuri.
impress Yuri.
you want to impress Yuri?
I agree. I think we should impress
agree.
Yuri.
She has the like purple hair, so she's the main character, obviously.
Well, she's got Natsuki's got pink hair.
Natsuki's cute.
But purple hair.
Yeah, you want to impress Natsuki. Natsuki would be like puppy,
Yeah, she likes cute things.
candy, despise.
No,
not
despise,
despise.
despises Yuri. Despises Yuri.
Oh yeah, I guess.
All right, so are we doing Yuri or Natsuki?
Let's do Yuri. So
Yuri.
despise.
Despise.
Intellectual.
Intellectual, I think.
Okay.
Eat.
Infallible.
Infallible.
Or pleasure.
Like,
Anime.
alone.
Ocean.
Ocean, I feel like that's Sayori.
Okay. So then what? We want to do infallible.
Infallible, yeah.
Infallible.
Graveyard.
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 Destiny.
Dark.
Destiny. Yeah.
Destiny.
Incongruent.
Vitality.
Oh, vitality.
Vitality.
Vitality is a
yeah.
good one. Entropy.
Suicide.
Suicide. Yeah, let's do it.
Why is that in there?
Lollipop.
Lol. Infulgent.
Fantasy.
Yeah,
All right, infallible. We'll do.
Yeah.
Fantasies too.
Misery.
Massacre.
Misery or massacre.
Crimson.
Oh my god, this is so dark.
Frightening, unending.
Unending. Let's do unending. Misery.
Yeah, misery.
Whatever.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
I didn't expect that.
Heaven sent.
Disaster.
Disaster. Hopeless.
What do you want?
Let's go with
Heaven sent.
I like
Yeah.
that.
prayer.
Infinite.
Vibrant.
Prayer.
Oh, infinite is good too.
Giggle.
Climax.
Adventure.
Wrath.
Wrath.
Oh, wrath. Marshmallow.
Eternity.
Eternity. Yeah.
Captive.
Grief.
Depression. Depression.
No, one was horror. That was first. Sayori.
Yeah.
It's depression.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Wait, how do you know this?
Because they jump up.
Yeah, they jump up when they
Oh,
let the
shit,
word.
right.
Yeah.
Misfortune.
Embrace.
What does she like? Embrace?
Yeah.
You sure?
Oh, damn it.
See, they don't always jump up. That's the thing.
No, they do
Judgment.
though. Unrequited.
Unrequited. No, that's gonna be for
No,
Sayori.
Yuri likes long words though. Or
Bunny.
judgment.
Judgment.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yuri likes
Yeah.
long, complicated words. Yeah, see? Agonizing. Yeah. Vertigo.
Whirlwind.
Retro vertigo.
Retro vertigo.
Doki Doki.
Doki Doki.
Let's just do it. Just
Doki
do
Doki's gonna be nuts. Yeah, knew it. Determination.
Unrestrained.
Uncontrollable.
Oh,
Yeah, we
our
went.
uncontrollable lust for Yuri.
All right, Monica.
Hi again, Guzma. Glad to see you didn't run away from us.
Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I kept my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Guzma. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it? Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack.
Damn.
Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year.
See, Natsuki, this isn't why we didn't write the poem for you.
Oh.
And last year, too. You think she's cute. I don't know if you plan to come here just to hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then You won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Oh no, she's an otaku.
Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and Man Ray.
Manga is literature.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into his seat.
Don't worry, guys. Kuzma always gives his best as long as he's having fun.
I never have fun.
He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
How dependable.
Excuse me. Sayori, that's because my room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come you and Kuzma can become good friends too?
Sayori. As usual, Sayori seemed oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh! Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Wait, Sayori.
Me?
Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind.
It better be a netball.
Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do?
I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Go Glycopod. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting. Guzma uses emergency exit and leaves literature club. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place from this. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Alright. Well, here.
Yuri reaches into a bag and pulls out a book.
She brought us a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted.
This is... How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. Thanks a lot, man. I'll definitely read this. I definitely read this, bro. You're a great friend. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried into a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet.
Like a little mouse.
Oh no.
I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages.
Crap.
That's me.
I know. Crap.
Oh, crap.
The music changed.
I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper into the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out again, man.
As always.
I muttered this sentence. I made her uncomfortable.
Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book you gave to me, right?
Right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it.
I wonder why.
Not for any particular reason.
Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant.
Oh.
I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them.
Ah, I gotcha. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided I'm gonna let it go. I'll definitely start reading this soon.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story.
Is that so? What's it about anyway?
Well,
Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover.
alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart.
That's kinda dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from kinda out of nowhere.
Haha.
Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Guzma?
Nah, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective.
This is true.
When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize, man. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like you should I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry about that. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen to you. It's a literature club after all.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
You really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Yeah, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here. Whoa.
Yuri takes the left arm and holds the left side of the book between a thumb and a forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the other side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under the thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. That's actually kind of distracting to me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready? To turn the page.
Yeah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with the...
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it back.
Oh, sorry.
We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.
Yuri remains silent for a moment.
But Guzma, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that...
Wait a minute, man. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything.
That's why you can't get a girlfriend, Keith.
Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden?
Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other.
No.
Stop it, this poem.
We might not have
Sadistic
enough
fucking
time
poems.
if we wait too long.
Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought.
Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
It's not... It's fine.
Yuri releases a hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Hi. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
I stand up. I sit back down, and I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag.
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah, my relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. It's all depressing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with?
I can't wait.
Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Natsuki is nowhere to be
Yeah,
seen.
where the fuck is Natsuki?
Natsuki got lost in the closet.
She's in the closet.
Sayori sits on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into the bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Alright, who we... we
We made
kinda,
it for Yuri. So
we kind of
should
tailored it for
Should
Yuri.
we show it to Yuri?
I don't think it matters.
I think we should show it to Yuri first.
Let's show it to Yuri.
Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her.
I don't think that's it.
I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
What was that?
Did I say that out loud?
Ellipsis. Ellipsis. Yuri first covers her mouth, but ends up covering her whole face.
Oh.
He's gonna hate me.
Ellipsis. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Ellipsis.
That's...
Ellipsis.
Alright, read. Just read. No more ellipsis.
I guess you're right.
Okay.
What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've been writing for... You've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Ellipsis. Wow. That's a huge compliment coming from you.
Turn it off.
Oh my god. We got officer.
Twist the knob on the left.
Officer, help. We got a call coming in. Alright.
Turned it up, I think.
He turns it off.
No, I turned it down.
Alright, apologies for that little interruption.
Sorry about that.
This is actually my first time, really.
Huh?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
Well, I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces a finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds a train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. The stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though.
Fucking Natsuki.
Biased now.
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm just gonna go tell Natsuki. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Probably everyone. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club?
Oh no.
We can't see all of it.
Oh no. We can't see all of it because of the webcam.
I can move it.
You can make it smaller, right?
I can make it small real quick? Okay, alright. Reduce. Oh.
Oh yeah, or you can just do that.
Here, we'll put it down here for now.
Put it. See, this is why I said the
Here,
top right corner.
Just do the top right.
Top right corner.
Alright, we're moving the...
Remove the webcam.
There you go.
Alright.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, there we go.
Much better.
Ghost under the light. The
Well,
tendrils.
let Chris read it, because
Okay. Alright.
it's yours.
You want it in... I'm gonna say it in... Ghost under the light. What does that even say?
The tendrils.
The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the ember glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
Who are we flicking back?
Click. Outside poem ready to continue.
Okay, cool. Ellipsis.
Shut up.
I'm sorry I have such terrible ellipsis.
What? Double question mark?
Double question mark.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often, ellipsis. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Okay, I'll stop.
That's a relief.
Also,
Lisa
I like the poem itself. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
What? I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghost theory?
Uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Guzma.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But I remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from yours.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I really enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Guzma.
She's so dedicated.
I know.
Me too. Alright, we gotta go through 3 more of these?
Yeah.
Oh my god, really?
This is gonna be a long episode.
Which one, Natsuki? Let's do Natsuki.
What? Top left corner.
What?
FPS. Damn. Okay.
It's because there's no frames right now.
Alright. So, who are we doing next?
Natsuki.
Natsuki?
Yeah, is that good?
Yeah.
Or Sayori? Let's do Natsuki. I want to
Okay.
see. We haven't heard from her in a while, so.
Yeah, she's in the closet.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we'll
there
have
she just
to-
got.
we'll
She
have
just
to 60
Oh, okay,
them.
cool.
just came out of the closet.
I'm a lesbian now.
Ellipsis question mark?
Donkey.
Ellipsis.
Ellipsis.
Guzma, oh god, I can't do this. Guzma, if you're not going to take this clip seriously, then go home.
Oh my god.
Damn.
What a little...
What?
What? Hard.
That's me.
I know I was. Alright. What, you expect...
Harsh.
What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid?
I'm not a writer, but I can tell you're stupid.
Oh my
Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it.
Burn.
Painful to think about.
Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again.
Fair enough. Well, teach their own, I guess.
Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid.
This is already.
Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it.
I could kind of like that.
It's good.
I like that too.
I like that. How like all the animals can do their own thing, but people can't do anything except try.
That's good.
I like that.
Natsuki. Proud of you.
She's short and to the point.
Snap. Snap.
Got him, Brian. Do you know the way?
We know the way.
Oh God, no! It's
No.
it's everywhere.
Oh no, it's everywhere. First ellipsis.
Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am being honest. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Do you know the way?
Because Everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't that the point of poems, for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I got you.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro.
She's so confident.
I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her.
Alright, Monica?
Monica.
I want to hear from Sayori last.
Hi, Guzma.
Oh, now Brian gets to talk, finally.
Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions from the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Guzma. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's not that sort of barrier that... Hold on. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn from to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Mm-hmm. Great job, Guzma. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's really metaphorical. Not sure why. I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort, at least.
That's you, Keith. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know, that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes simple, indirect words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write poems like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. I can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure
it's nowhere near her level yet.
Oops. Don't worry. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and try to learn new things.
I'm sure I'll end up trying some different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing all this.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write any way everyone wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident with someone who claims to be not very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always have to feel that way, you know?
I gotcha. Well, let's read it then.
Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the sparkle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was deep, stretching forever into everything. a hole of infinite choices. I realize now I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
Whoa, I like that.
Whoa, man.
That was.
It was too deep.
I don't know the way now.
You gotta click
Yeah,
outside.
you gotta click. So, what did you think?
Whoa, man. It's very free form, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you can say I had a kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a certain point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and just go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
That was like a fucking broadcast. It's like, Monica's writing tip of the day. Who should I show my poem to next? I mean, there's only one person left. And that's Sayori.
Sayori, this is a good poem, Guzma. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course. It's not that good. I'm not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why you impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See, it's like I said before, Guzma. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Try new things, click lists for new people. That's something that only a really good people do.
Only a really good people. Thanks, Sayori.
It kind of
I'm not
hurts to
sure.
use her voice
You
on.
don't
I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here.
So my voice doesn't go that high.
Then again, I can't deny that she's a part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm gonna go hold you to that end.
Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that. Everyone has such low self-confidence in this club.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish the rainy day away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
Classic Sayori.
Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No, just a little bit.
You can't just answer just a little bit into a yes and no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Ah, yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially that last line.
I mean eggs and toast.
Even though you were late to school?
it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This is so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna make the best. I'm gonna write the best poem.
Where
ever.
was the
Your
word
voice
not in
is-
there?
no,
Where
it-
was
it's-
not in there
And
at
I'm
all?
not gonna write the best poem.
I'm not gonna write you a poem.
Well, I guess I look forward to it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do
Should
it.
we we're at
Yeah, that's what I was
should
pointing
we,
out.
like,
earlier.
alright.
I think we should wrap this up for now. We've read everyone's poems. They've read ours.
yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up this
We're
episode
at
here.
65 minutes, so
We're gonna see exactly what takes place after
The
this
first day.
after the first day. This is the one day.
Actually, no, it's the second day.
It was the second day, but it's like our first day of assignments.
Yeah.
I mean, daily literature club, man. That's a bit crazy. Like twice a week I could see, but like
Doki Doki.
You're saying you don't want to do it every day? You wouldn't want to do it every day?
I wouldn't want to go to that same club every single day. Can you imagine that, man?
I would.
Yeah, that's well.
I mean, have you seen these girls? Oh.
Brian's like not even in the camera anymore. All right, so we're gonna wrap that up here for today, guys.
all right.
Let
Thank
us-
you. Yeah,
Hey,
thank
save
you
the game.
for watching.
Yeah, we should probably save this.
We'll-
Empty slot 1. All right.
How many slots there are?
All right, so we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem. If
so,
you guys like the video, or go ahead and comment, and we're gonna do part 2 here pretty soon.
Pretty
and
soon.
yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
watching. All right, peace.
All right, take care, guys.